Oh, hey. Are you from Tennessee? 'Cause you're the only 10 I see. When it comes to finding love, people have so many different ways. From cheesy pickup lines like the one I just used, to online dating, to going on The Bachelorette, or maybe just going on a blind date. But have you ever considered how your biology impacts your love life? Well, it does. There's a gene called CD38. Yep, CD38. It's not that complicated. And it controls your love life through your oxytocin levels. Now, what is oxytocin? Oxytocin is typically called the love hormone. Ooh, I know. So, the love hormone basically keeps away social anxiety while building your empathy, how comfortable you are in social situations, and bonding with other people. So, let's say this juice is like oxytocin. You want more of it because there's no fat in this juice, which is good, and it has lots of good vitamins. So the more juice you have, the better off you are. Now we'll get more to that later. So while we know that all of these are great things that come from high oxytocin levels, what does CD38 have to do with this again? Well, there are 3 different versions or variations of CD38 that a person can have, and they each affect what your oxytocin levels are. So, back to saying that oxytocin, our love hormone, is juice. This is a person with a variation CC. They get a lot of oxytocin, which, as we discussed, is very good for them. However, with someone with an AA variation, they only get a little bit of oxytocin or juice. And as you might remember, there are 3 variations, and then we've talked about CC with a lot of oxytocin, which is good, AA, which is a little bit of oxytocin and not as good, and CA, or AC, which is a little bit in the middle. We have more oxytocin than AA, but not quite as much as CC. So the effects are about average as well. So enough with the juice. Why do oxytocin levels and the gene CD38 really matter? Well, just because of which variation of CD38 you have, or how much oxytocin you have, you are not doomed and your love life is not doomed. However, it is important to know that some of us are going to be naturally more inclined to do well in social situations and have healthier relationships, while others of us are going to have to work harder to overcome social anxiety and needing greater trust and vulnerability. So, as you go about in your next relationships, be sure to remember that it all goes down to a biological level.